Hey guys, welcome back to the Cutrer Report. Today we got another fantastic guest. It's actually my old cousin, and she's got Sid Sweets. Valentine's Day's around the corner. Chocolate covered strawberries is what that means. Squid Games. So this is Squidward, my cousin Sydney Cutrer, and we are here actually to talk about, no jokes now, we're here to talk about Sid Sweets.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you look into that camera. You tell the audience who you are and all about Sid Sweets real quick.
My name is Sydney Cutrer. I'm Matt's cousin. I'm 28 years old. I have 2 boys. I'm a boy mom. And I started my business, Sid Sweets, in 2021. So it's been, almost 5 years?
Yeah.
Almost exactly 5 years now. Yeah, so I enjoy being creative. That's always been a passion of mine, and I've always kind of had a hard time figuring out what I wanted to do. So whenever I started Sid Sweets, that was kind of where I found my passion, and I love what I do.
Nice.
I love it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I want to talk about here in a minute, your background with culinary stuff, the service industry, bartending, all that.
Yeah.
But before we do that, kind of give people a rundown of what kind of stuff you offer. Is it just do you do cakes?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do cupcakes? Do you like birthday stuff?
So I get that question a lot. So my specialty is chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah.
That is what I love to do. That's what I started out doing. And it sounds kind of silly, but it's actually, there's a huge market for that actually. And that's something I didn't really realize until I started and I was doing a bunch of research, and it's a huge specialty thing that people really love.
Interesting.
So that is my specialty, chocolate covered strawberries, custom, very intricate designs. I don't do cakes.
Okay.
That's something I just, it's a lot. Cakes are a lot.
Yeah.
And that's something that I would venture into it, but it's really not my love. I don't love to do cakes,
exactly.
really.
Yeah.
And then getting into other baked goods, for Thanksgiving and Christmas this past year, I did offer some baked goods.
Nice.
And I enjoy doing that, and I do offer that by request.
Yeah.
Just not cakes, not really cupcakes either, but maybe breads, brownies, things like that.
Nice.
I did offer that, and I will offer that in the future, but chocolate covered strawberries, specialty, treat packages for parties, party tables at events are a huge deal, especially themed things. So yeah, that's really what I
That's what I was going to ask you is what do you get hit up for the most? Is it because I know Valentine's Day is probably a pretty big deal, but is it for I bet, is it for a couple, a guy getting something for his girlfriend, or is it for parties, or is it a mix of that kind of stuff?
Definitely special events, birthdays, anniversaries, get well gifts, baby, welcoming a baby. Those are some big things. Holidays, of course, and then events, birthday parties, quinceañeras.
Cool. I didn't think about that either. There's so many things.
Yeah, it's a huge, I wouldn't say it's a trend, but it's really a big deal at birthday parties and things like that to do themed dessert tables and themed party favors, things like that.
Yeah, I've seen that for sure. Yeah. So how crazy can you get with the strawberries? What kinds can you make? What is the craziest one?
I can really make anything. Recently, I started doing, so with chocolate covered strawberries, you use a lot of silicone molds. So there's molds for anything. I could literally make a wrench or, anything. But I recently started playing with drawing my own things with chocolate. So making, say a face or something like that, a logo, something that is very custom.
A logo, that's sick.
So I've started experimenting with that, and I've done that a few times on some of my orders. So I can pretty much make anything.
Interesting.
Yeah, anything.
You can do names, all kinds of stuff. What about as far as the chocolate? Do you do white chocolate and dark chocolate and milk?
Yeah.
All of that? Okay, yeah. What about like nuts on strawberries?
Yeah,
like
so actually for Valentine's Day, I have like a variety box that has pecan chocolate covered strawberries, Oreos, do like a strawberry crunch topping.
Oh yeah.
Fruity Pebbles is really good too.
So what? That's interesting. So I didn't realize. Now that you say it, though, it's pretty smart to really specialize in something that's more, instead of broad, like a full bakery, or whatever. Right. So that's cool. But what gave you that idea, and like why were you passionate about doing the strawberries mostly?
So in 2020, I had my son.
Yeah.
It was like the peak of COVID, October 2020.
Dang. You had Rollo in right during COVID.
Oh yeah, I was pregnant through like the midst of like all the chaos, shutdown, everything like that.
That's so interesting.
I gave birth like with a mask on.
You did?
It was crazy.
You're always going to be able to talk about that, how interesting that was.
It was like I was reading a book, like like those like dystopian world kind of thing. It was it was weird. That's crazy. So I was working at Target at the time. And I had him in October, so I had I want to say it was like a 12-week maternity leave. And so I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I have 3 months. I don't want to send him to daycare. I don't really have any. I was living in San Antonio. I didn't really have anybody that I trusted to take care of him. So I was like, I cannot go to work. I had to figure something out. So I was like, what can I do? Like, what can I sell? What can I do? Literally anything. I had thought about like reselling sneakers. That was like a big thing. And I had done that a little bit on and off. Yeah, it was like a huge thing then. Like now it's a little bit harder to do. But yeah, reselling sneakers was like a big deal.
You have to, in that, I've seen that. I've seen some people do that. You have to get like specialized ones and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, like you have to get like the custom, like, or the special drops, all that kind of stuff. So I was just kind of like browsing Facebook Market, and
Did you try anything else?
I also thought about like reselling clothes too. Kind of like the same kind of thing. Like thrifting was a big thing back then too. It still is, but
did you ever think about drop? You know what drop shipping is?
I think
drop shipping, and maybe my dad can correct us. It's where you do like you have a Shopify or something, or like you have a product and you get it from a certain party and you put it on Amazon under your store.
Yes.
And so you don't even touch the product. You get it and they ship it to the customer.
I've seen a lot of that recently, actually. I think it's really cool. Like, it's really
that's interesting.
I saw like people will get like high demand, like the Dubai chocolate bars.
Exactly.
So this girl buying like bulk of those.
Do you like those? Have you tried those?
You know, it's weird. I haven't even tried those yet.
Oh my God.
I know. And
I was going to ask if you make a Dubai chocolate covered strawberry.
See, I haven't, and I would. I know, I would.
Dina's mom last night, literally, she made a Ferrero Rocher cake.
Oh, yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Those are my favorite candies.
I know, mine too.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually haven't tried those, which is crazy because I love pistachio.
You would probably love those. And that's a good idea for some strawberries.
Yeah, it is. It's like they do like the strawberry cups with the Dubai chocolate and the pistachio mix. That's pretty popular too. But yeah.
So you back to San Antonio. So you were thinking about what to do, and then did it just hit you? Were you like, I'm going to do this, or was at first it like, I'm going to do cakes and this and that, or how did it come about?
So I did think about cakes. Like, I was scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, and people advertise a lot of different things on there. There's cakes, cupcakes, and then I saw a girl post something about chocolate covered strawberries for Valentine's Day. This is like December, I want to say. And I was like, that's actually a really good idea. Valentine's Day, like a quick little something to do, just for now until I figure out what I'm going to do long term. So then I started researching it, and it was like a big thing that people were doing.
Nice.
Selling chocolate-covered strawberries, chocolate-covered treats, and again, like the dessert tables and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I can do this and do it better than like what I was seeing online in my area.
Yeah.
So I just started doing research and like researching supplies, techniques, all kinds of stuff, and I kind of just started from there.
Was it what you expected though? Was it like, were you like immediately pretty good at it, or was it way harder than you thought, or how was it?
Some things, yes, were a little bit harder than I thought, and like figuring out the right supplies to use was a little bit harder. You have to use special coloring for the chocolate.
It's
kind of like a lot of like testing, experimenting.
Okay. What about as far as, because I know you do a really good job with like your packaging. Has that been something that's evolved?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, definitely.
That's cool.
Finding different like sources for packaging too, because you can order something from Amazon and it comes in and it's like a flimsy little nothing, and I'm like, I just wasted my money on this. But yeah, like experimenting with different
that's important, isn't it? The packaging.
It is important, because that's like the first thing people see when they get your product is the packaging. And not only that, it's like supporting your strawberries in the package. If you get it and it's like slumped at the bottom, everything's just gonna fall in the middle. So yeah, it is a big deal.
What do they range like? In how many, is it like a dozen, 2 dozen, half a dozen?
So dozen is of course the most popular, I would say, amount that people order, but I mean usually about like 6, 9, 12 are the most popular amounts. But yeah, 12 usually is what people go for. And my basic dozen chocolate covered strawberries starts at $30.
Okay.
And I mean that may seem high, but if you go online to like Sherry's Berries, for instance, is like one of the top suppliers of chocolate covered strawberries, and they're like an online, anywhere from $30 to $60, I would say. And I don't know if you've ever had Sherry's Berries, but they're not good.
No, I've never had.
They're not good.
Yeah.
And I have had them before, and it's basically comes in like this dry ice box that you get shipped, and who knows how old they are.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not, you don't get quality, it's not a quality product.
They can't, yeah.
Yeah.
Once they get to a certain size, their company, how can you? So that is the benefit of what you do, is like you're literally the one, you and maybe whoever you have with you are the ones making it homemade.
Right.
You're going to get a really day of.
Yeah, it's fresh. It's so good. Promise, it's so good.
That's cool. So what areas, first of all, I wanted to ask you, do you have a website?
So I don't have a website.
Facebook page?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page, Instagram page, TikTok.
Nice.
I do a lot of like behind the scenes on my TikTok more so,
that'd be cool.
and then more advertising and stuff on like my main pages.
So is
Instagram
that how is like the business page on Facebook the easiest way for people to place an order?
Yeah, Facebook or Instagram for sure.
Or Instagram.
I started out on Instagram, and I just recently started onto my Facebook page.
Nice.
So I'm still growing that page. But yeah, in either of those, you can contact me through that. I have an email as well.
Nice.
Some people contact me through there. They find it on like my Google homepage.
Yeah.
But
how far will you, like, do you deliver, or do they have to pick them up?
So I do deliver,
Nice.
but for like specialty holidays like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, I usually like to stick to pickup on those days, just because it's a lot.
That'd be chaos.
And I wouldn't have enough time to, get everybody in if I were doing delivery on those days. But delivery if needed on other dates.
Okay, cool. Sure. What about turnaround time? Like, what if I needed some, and it's not a holiday, I needed some the next day or something?
Depends on my schedule. I'm also a stay-at-home mom, so that plays a huge role in like what I can do.
One's a 4-month-old.
Usually on the weekend though, it's not a big deal because Ian is home, so I'm like, you're on dad duty. I gotta work.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, usually I can get you in within a couple days if needed.
Nice. What I like about it is it's a unique gift. You know what I mean? And Dina's always like, whenever I go to get her a gift, she's always, and she likes like expensive things.
Yeah.
She's grown up like her parents giving her all this fancy jewelry and gold. And, and I'm like, man, I feel like, what am I going to give her, And it's funny though, because she's like, I don't really care about it. She said, I'd rather have a gift that's thoughtful. That even you put a little bit of thought into. Like one time I got her like a pastry thing. It was just this thing that somebody was making. And I just had it done in a creative way that was something like an inside thing between us.
Like
and
personal.
That meant the word. And so that's why I think it's a cool gift, is you can really personalize it.
100%.
And it's just you're right here.
Yep.
It's homegrown.
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah. So how did you, you worked at Target, and then I'm curious, just because I don't know this, how did you make the jump from, because we actually worked at Cork and Pig together. Yeah. And how did you make the jump from there to the service industry, from Target to like Wade &
I worked at Target for 5 years. I started at the Target here, transferred to San Antonio. I really enjoyed working at the Target in San Antonio. I loved it.
How come?
I think it had a lot to do with just the people that I worked with, management, and then also at that time I was doing visual merchandising.
What's that?
Pretty much you're just like I worked in the clothing the clothing area. So, setting up different areas, dressing the mannequins, making it look pretty much. And that was fun for me. I loved doing that. So I really enjoyed working at the Target in San Antonio. And then after I came back to San Angelo, I stayed at home for a little while with Rollo. And then I started working at the Target here just because I was like, I already worked there before. I'll just go back and start working there. And then...
Did you like it here?
No, I hated it.
Why? That's so interesting. Because people love Target here, too.
It was just
But it was a different experience?
Yeah, for sure. It was. I wasn't doing as much of the merchandising that I love to do. And then just, there were some other things I just didn't love about it. But at the same time, I also started at Cork and Pig.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was
you were doing
pretty much looking for any job.
Yeah,
I was like, I'll work anywhere at this point.
Did you know somebody working at Cork and Pig that was like, hey, you just went in there randomly?
And it's weird because, I never really ate there. I didn't know much about it. I was just like, this seems like a place that I can make some money.
Yeah.
I knew in the service industry, of course, you're working weekends, working on the holidays. But I was like, I can make money fast. And I needed to make money fast.
That's right.
So I literally walked into Cork and Pig one day. I applied.
Was Ben there?
No, it was before Ben.
It was before Ben? Who was the chick that was there before? Or wasn't it a chick?
Her name was Melinda. She was the general manager there. And then we also had our manager, Keely. She interviewed me the same day, and I got hired the same day. And I literally started, I want to say, 2 days later or the next day. Yeah, it was kind of like...
And so you started training?
No, I just started.
No!
I did, maybe 2 days of training, and then I just started. I think they were really in need of people, which was perfect for me.
You know where my first serving job was?
Where?
At Joe's Italian.
Oh, yeah.
And I was 15, and so I think... I'm pretty sure... I don't exactly know how I was driving. I don't know if I had my permit and my dad was letting me go just to work.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just for work or something. But I started working there and they let me on as a server and I was so pumped because I was 15.
Yeah.
And that I don't know if you've ever met that guy who runs that place, but they're not from Italy. They're I think Armenian or something like that. And, I mean, kudos to them. They've managed to create a very successful restaurant, which is a hard industry, and it's stayed alive.
Yeah, especially here in San Angelo.
Exactly. And so, but it was funny because I didn't know anything about the restaurant industry. And so I'll tell you what happened. So I was waiting tables, and he just needed people.
Yeah.
And so he was like, hey, I have a delivery order. And he just pointed at me. He's like, you take this. And I was like, okay. And he gave me $40 and he gave me the food. And I said, okay. And I went up there and rang the doorbell. And I remember it was a family with there were 20 kids in this tiny little house.
Gosh.
Yeah. And so when they answered the door, they had exact change down to the penny.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I need to get a tip or whatever.
Yeah,
and I kept wondering why he handed me the $40. And I was thinking, well, I heard that he pays under the table. Maybe he's paying me because I've been here already a week and I haven't been paid yet. And so I went back and I just went back to work. And the next day I came in and he was like, you're fired. And I said, why? He goes, you robbed me. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, I gave you that was the bank to make change and you took it. And I said, oh, no, I didn't mean to take it. I thought that you were paying me. He's like, why would I be paying you? And he got all mad and he's like, get out of here.
Oh my God. Did you get to keep the $40 at least?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Well, that works, I guess.
Yeah. So I learned a lesson there from that. And then
that's funny.
Yeah. From there, I went to Rose's Cafe. And then I think my next waiting job might have been Applebee's.
Oh, I remember when you worked at Applebee's.
You do?
Yeah, I
do remember that. I might have had something before Applebee's. But anyway, but your experience, so when they just threw you in there at Cork and Pig, because I'll tell you right now, I've waited tables at a lot of different places. And Cork and Pig is that's not one you just jump into. And
no.
You have to spend some time getting to know the menu, the wine list. It's a higher end place.
Yeah, for sure.
So how was it for you at first?
Well, so before Target, right after high school, I worked at Olive Garden for a little while. But I was just a hostess there. But still, that gives you an idea of working in a restaurant. And then after Olive Garden, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. I worked there for a while. Okay. And so I kind of was, I had some experience,
so
but it
had
been a while.
Experience.
Yeah, it had been a while. But yeah, I did have serving experience. And working at Buffalo Wild Wings is another that's a whole nother realm of
I always
serving,
wondered how that was there.
It was crazy.
I heard isn't it like real quick turnover of tables?
Extremely fast
big
turnover.
Parties too, or no?
Yeah,
okay,
especially like during football season.
Yeah.
Especially if you're working on the bar side, it can get pretty crazy.
Did you like it there?
No, I mean, yeah and no. It was like you said, like a quick turnaround. I was really young. I want to say I was like 19 when I worked there, so it was like almost overwhelming to work there.
Oh, was it really?
It was crazy.
How was the money?
It was really good.
I figured it
really
would, especially
good.
for a female, young female.
Oh, yeah. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was just like, we would usually be there till like 2 or 3 in the morning.
That's what I heard about Buffalo.
So that was like a huge downside for me, which at the time it didn't really matter because I didn't have any other responsibilities. So I'm like, whatever, I'll be here. But it was a lot. And it was pretty crazy environment too. Like, crazy people.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like crazy. As far as the patrons?
Yeah. Like fights all the time.
Exactly. I think anytime a place is open that late and they serve alcohol and it's like catered towards sports and guys, there's going to be some violence.
Oh,
and some, you know, some sexual assaults and, you know, those kind of things.
I remember one time I was closing the bar with this other girl and there was like a Cowboys game on, I'm pretty sure. And these 2 guys had gone into the bathroom. We were closing, like we were like, okay, it's time to get out. And they got in a fight in the bathroom. And
in the bathroom?
Yes. And so our male manager at the time had to go pull him out of the bathroom or whatever. Well, then on the way out, they got in a fight again, like outside. And one of the guys pulled out a box cutter and like cut the guy across the chest. It was crazy.
You saw this?
Yes.
Shut up.
It was crazy.
That's wild. You saw it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
They ended up just leaving. Like
the cops didn't go?
No. I was like, what is going on?
I know. That's insane for that to just casually happen.
That was like the environment of Buffalo Wild Wings. It was pretty crazy. I don't know how it is now. But
what about as far as being a young female? Did anybody try to hit on you or anything like that? Like, but in a way that was like made you really like assaulted you or anything?
Really weird, honestly. Like a lot of weird people. Even my manager was weird.
That's
there.
where it can get real weird. Yeah. Is the staff sometimes.
So I was like, oh, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
This is a weird place.
And then you went to Cork and Pig from there?
No, that's when I went to Target in San Angelo before I had moved to San Antonio.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. By the way, you know, I was thinking about my experience versus your experience because I went to Austin when I was your age, and you went to San Antonio. Did you like it there? Did you like the experience?
I loved it there. You did? Yeah, I did.
What did you like about it? What was it like?
I don't know. I grew up in Menard, which is literally the tiniest, 1,300 people in the town, like so small. I've always wanted to live in a bigger city. I've always loved the city. Like, I don't know why. I've just always had this like crave to like be in a bigger city. So I wanted to move there. Like, it was kind of just the closest big city.
Oh, that makes
pretty
sense.
much. Like 2-3 hours from my family. So I always wanted to move there. And so when I did, I loved it.
Cool.
Now it was like,
do you remember your first day or night there? Tell me about it. I'll tell you about mine in Austin.
I had this like super tiny apartment, I remember, and I just remember being so happy. I was like, my mattress was on the floor. I had like a desk in my room. I had like a hand-me-down couch and a TV, and I just remember being like, I'm so happy. This is the happiest.
Did you have a roommate?
No, I lived by myself.
Yourself?
Yeah, mistake probably.
That's brave though. Seriously.
No, yeah, I was just kind of like,
cool.
whatever, I'm going.
I like
I'm
that.
live here.
That's cool. So I remember whenever I went to Austin, my dad drove me down and he drove the truck and I was in my Jeep, my yellow Jeep that I had.
I remember.
And I remember he was like, all right. And, you know, we gave each other a hug and that was it. We were in the apartment. I had a roommate, though, at least from high school. His name was Ted. Shout out Ted Lopez if you're out there, my boy Ted. And so it was really exciting. I remember whenever he left, I just had this feeling of like, whoa, like freedom.
Yeah.
Like I've hit I'm just here alone. Like, so and this is really weird, but I went straight to the convenience store and I bought a pack of cigarettes and I didn't even smoke. And I just sat at the 7-Eleven like this is my freedom.
I made it.
I made it. But
that's
then
hilarious.
That night, what was interesting is at night, I remember Ted and I were hanging out and talking, and we were both exhausted though for moving in and stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot.
So I had that feeling of excitement, but at the same time, and I don't know if you experienced this, but I also had this it was just this angst, sort of like this I just felt sort of a little homesick and a little apprehensive about, what was next. Like this is, a big adult move into the next chapter.
Yeah.
Did you have that feeling?
Definitely. I think I did for sure because like straight out of high school, I wanted to go there, and my parents were like, "No, you need to stay here for a little bit. You're not moving there yet."
Is that what John said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, "No."
What about your mom? Did she said that too?
I think so. Open? She was more open to like me going there, but it just didn't. I think it just didn't make sense. Like I had no scholarships. UTSA is way more expensive than ASU.
You didn't go with anybody down there?
So my best friend in high school, she had moved there right after college after high school. So she was already living there, and I had gone there a few times to visit her. And so I had someone there at least, but other than that, that was it. Like,
but I think that's cool that you went solo and just got an apartment solo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was so broke.
So what did you do the first several months? Did you immediately start working at Target?
No. Yes, I did. I transferred to the Target there, and I started working at Target. But I also was going to UTSA. And so
how was that?
It was fun. It was cool, but I didn't even last like a semester. I remember, I was so broke living in San Antonio. I remember I couldn't even I didn't even have gas money to drive to school. I was like waiting for my check. I was like, come on, I need to get paid so I can go to class.
Yeah.
But I eventually just dropped out.
The road runners, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What were you You're just doing basics probably?
So I had started, I started doing nursing here at ASU. And it wasn't really like something that I really wanted to do. I was just like, I had taken a year off of school. I was like, I have to do something. Like, I'm not doing anything. So I kind of was just like, okay, I'll go for nursing. But it really wasn't like, I've never really had I really want to get a degree in this. Or I really it took me a long time to really figure out who I was and what I wanted to do. Like that was really hard for me, I feel like.
For sure. So how long were you there in San Antonio?
I lived there for 4 years.
Dang, it was 4 years. And so when did you get on your feet and really feel comfortable there? After a few months and stuff working at Target and stuff?
Yeah, I would say for a few months. It took me a little while to feel comfortable and figure out my way around San Antonio. But then I kind of was just stuck. I was not going to school.
Oh, interesting.
Just kind of there, living, which was fun. I had so much fun. I loved living there. But I was I don't want to work at Target forever. I knew I didn't want to do that. But at the same time, I loved what I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
It was fun for the time being. I was still young.
Yep.
I didn't feel pressure to be
those are some of the best
figure something
times.
out right now.
Yeah.
I was kind of just living.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad you did that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I didn't do that, I would regret it, honestly. Exactly. If I would have just stayed here the whole time. But who knows where my life would have been.
That's so cool
differently.
To me. Yeah. I love hearing about I have a client a guy that I trained for a long time. And his daughter was graduating from Central and from college from UT, and she was going to go to New York and start working at this big ad firm. My
dream.
I know.
I would love to. I would too. York. I've always said my dream. Yeah. Literally.
So I feel like I could do it for a couple years.
Yeah.
I don't think I would want to do it long term. You think you could do it long term?
If I lived a different lifestyle. Yeah. I feel like I've always imagined living in New York, but it was I would live a different life. I probably wouldn't have kids.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't feel like that's
conducive to a New York City lifestyle.
Do you know who Casey Neistat is?
Who is that?
He's he's a vlogger, and I don't know if he still lives in New York. I think he might have moved to LA, but he lived in New York for the longest time, and I want to say 2017 or so. He was doing daily vlogs living in New York. That's cool. You should look him up.
I will.
They're so cool. My dad showed them to me, and I was living through him and his vlogs.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Yeah.
He's a videographer.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look him up for sure.
You should. His vlogs are really, really cool, especially if you love New York.
Nice. Have you been?
Once.
Me too. I went once too.
I went once.
What'd you do when you were there?
To go back.
Me too.
So I went with my Nana on my mom's side. I went with her brother and his wife.
Okay.
So we went to Boston, Manchester by the Sea, which is in the area, and then New York. We only were in New York for one day.
Yeah.
But it was so fun.
I know,
oh my gosh. I just remember being
experience.
so tired after that day.
Yeah, you walk a lot, right?
You cannot do New York in one day.
I know. I went with my friend Walter, for his 60th birthday, he and I went, and he wanted to go see Hamilton on Broadway.
Oh,
he was
that's
real
so
into
cool.
Broadway.
Yeah.
And so we saw Hamilton and The Lion King another night, and went to some Italian restaurants in the Times Square area. Yeah. And one of the things that really like took me back though about New York, and somebody told me this beforehand, they said, just be prepared for the trash. And I was like, what are they talking about? And there were like heaps of trash, like garbage piles. Yeah. And that's just how New York is. It takes them a while to get around to the trash sometimes. And
it really does stink. Everyone's like, it smells bad. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I love it.
I don't even care.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what drew you back then to Menard and the San Angelo area? Like what made you want to come back?
I had my son, and so I didn't really have anybody in San Antonio, so I was like, I gotta go back. So
makes sense.
Whenever he was about 6 months old, I want to say, is when I came back.
You had Rollo there by yourself for 6 months?
Yeah. It was crazy.
I didn't know that. Wow. Crazy. Amazing. Yeah.
Crazy time, honestly. But yeah, so I came back whenever he was 6 months old, and then I've been here ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And then, so back to Quirk and Pig. So I started working at Quirk and Pig. I think before that, one of the craziest places I've waited tables was Henry's.
Oh, gosh. I can't imagine. Did you ever wait tables there? No.
It was insanity.
I can't imagine working at
it's
Henry's.
Like, I'm not trying to talk down on Henry's. I mean, they are like a staple in this town. Shout out to all my friends who still work there. But they work you like a slave.
Oh,
like,
I believe it.
They have control of your life. You know what I mean?
And even going in there, I feel like I'm like, okay, I gotta, like, you know what I mean? They're like, sit down, eat, leave.
Yeah.
Literally.
I know, that's hilarious. Like you're ordered, like, No, but they are masterful at the party, the serving parties. Masterful.
Oh,
and that's where I got good at that, and doing like team serving and stuff. And
that's hard.
It was fun, but it was hard. It was a hard gig. And then a few other places I was at. I went to Napoli's. Was a weird experience for me.
I've only eaten there ever once, I think, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. But I don't know much about it. It
was like a mom and pop setup, and the owners were cool, but they just had they didn't have a good training system. They had one lead server, and she wasn't a manager, like officially, and so she tried to like boss everybody around, and
that's always not a good deal.
It was not a good structure at all.
Yeah.
But that's what I did like about Quirk and Pig when Ben was there. So Ben hired me like gracefully, like helped me out as a friend.
He's a great guy.
Isn't he? Yeah. And what I thought was really cool is that you were already a really good server and bartender, and I had no idea you were that good at your job. But you and Ben were good friends too, and I thought that was so cool because we were like best friends growing up. We were real close.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. How did you and Ben get to know each other, like working there?
I don't know. You just spend so much time working in a restaurant, I feel like, and so like everybody that you work with kind of becomes like almost like family.
It's true.
I feel like, especially when you work in like a good environment, and whenever he worked there, it was such a good environment.
It was.
Opposed to like before and after he worked there.
Oh, I bet.
Like working in a restaurant can be super like toxic.
Yes.
I feel like a horrible relationship,
dude.
almost.
Yes.
Like terrible.
It's exactly what it feels like. You dread going to work.
Yes.
Like you dread the people you're going to be working with.
Yes.
Like they're going to be. It's exactly like that.
Yeah,
like toxic
but
relationship.
I feel like when he like started working there, and during the time he was there, became like completely opposite of that. Like I loved going to work. I loved everybody that I worked with. We all got along so well. It was so much fun.
It was.
So I think just fun. Like spending so much time there, you kind of just become like really close to everybody that works there.
Yeah,
and so
it was a blast.
I watched his kids a few times. I don't know. Cool. It just kind of like turned into like a family kind of friendship kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, it was fun.
I like that. And Peyton was hilarious.
Yes, I love
Have you seen Peyton's episode when he was on?
Yes, I watched it. It's freaking hilarious.
I love that guy.
Me and Ian watched it, and we were cracking up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I knew y'all would appreciate that. Yeah.
I was like, I have to watch this because he's so funny.
Oh gosh, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's so funny.
It's funny because it's really interesting. Whenever I was working there, I kept telling Peyton and Ben, and sometimes we'd include Ben Elder, but mostly it was Ben Nyland and Peyton. We should do a podcast, like a restaurant podcast.
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny.
It would be so great.
It would be.
We kicked it around a little, but they were super busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a blast to work there. I think you're right. Like it was set up with the management is where it starts.
Yeah.
And the structure was right. Ben was a really good GM.
Really good.
He was. And we had good managers under him for the most part, except that one dude, you know, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
That guy was weird.
Yeah, very weird.
Yeah, but it was good money. Like the brunch shift was always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Everybody was positive. I always liked that. Like everybody was cool and positive there.
And it wasn't always like that working there.
Oh,
I feel
really?
like, yeah, like before, you know, there was issues working there. It wasn't the same environment. And then after as well, it kind of turned into that again.
Yeah.
But during that time, it was so fun to work there. I loved working there. And it was like, it was perfect for me because I eventually kind of transitioned to where I was just, you know, working in the morning time.
Yeah.
And so I would be off at about like 3 o'clock.
Exactly.
So I would still have the whole day to spend, you know, with Rollo.
Yep.
So it was like perfect for me.
It was.
And it was like I could make the same amount of money, usually way more than if I was working like a 9 to 5 where I'm never home.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was perfect for the time for me personally.
How quickly did they throw you into becoming a bartender there? Is that where you first learned, or did you already have some experience?
No, that is really pretty much where I first learned.
Oh, okay, yeah.
My sister worked at the country club in Menard, and I maybe worked like a shift or two with her for like an event, that was kind of like where I very first worked in the bar. And then, at Cork and Pig was where I started bartending.
Who trained you, Hunter?
Hunter and Cynthia trained me,
nice.
and I think that was about it, really. I loved working behind the bar.
Yeah, it seemed like you did.
Fun.
I always wanted to. I never got to.
It was kind of like,
it seemed fun.
You know, it's different than serving, but it's kind of like you're your own boss behind the bar.
Yeah,
kind of
it seemed like that.
You don't have anybody delegating you.
Yeah.
Like, come do this, come do that. And like, as long as you can manage your area, like it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
That's cool.
It was a lot more work, but it was fun.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So with Sid, back to Sid Sweets. So do you ever foresee this? Would you ever even want to have like a brick and mortar business for this?
That would be a dream.
Okay.
But I know like that's also where a lot of businesses die.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
yeah, you're right.
I feel like it's a risk to do something like that. So I don't see that anytime like very soon.
Yeah.
But eventually I would love to. Like that would be so cool
that
to
would
own
be cool.
my own business and do
that
something
really
like
would.
that.
Yeah.
Especially like when it is a specialty like that.
Yeah.
Maybe San Angelo isn't the place for something
I know.
like that.
That's hard in San Angelo. It is.
It is hard in San Angelo, but it's even, you know, it could be hard in a bigger city too.
True.
Because you're kind of just like a little bitty dot on a huge map that is hard for people to find you. So I don't know, it's like a gamble with something like that. It is.
You know what place surprised me that's like that sort of is the Cowboy Up Chocolate.
Oh, I love that place.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
So they started as a small, just specialty chocolate shop.
Yeah, like on College Hills.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and now they have that new place, and they've grown, and they're flourishing, and so that's, you know, it's totally possible.
I love Cowboy Up Chocolate. It's the strawberry chocolate is the best one.
Really?
I'm still not even kidding.
Try it. All right.
It's literally just like the truffle. It has like a strawberry filling. It's so good. Me and Ian go there all the time just for that.
Cool.
All the time.
All right, I'll try it.
You should.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yes.
We'll probably get this one out in like a week and a half, so it should be perfect timing.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say to the Valentine's lovers out there? Anything?
I have my menu. It's out. I'm trying something different this year, so I'm doing online orders.
Nice.
So I've created like a form that you can go in and order. It's linked on all my profiles, or
solid.
I can send it personally to people.
Okay.
So I'm doing that. It's a little different. I usually take orders through messaging, so it's going smoothly so far. Like, it's working perfectly. And I think it's easier for me and the customer, honestly.
Good,
There's no back and forth. It's, you know, you order, you're done. That's it. So
perfect.
I'm doing that this year. So, yeah, my link to orders on all my profiles, or, again, I can send it to anybody personally as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll put that information literally on the screen, but it'll also, guys, it'll be in the description of the podcast episode. And lastly, we do this with everyone, 3 things that you're genuinely grateful for in your life right now.
Ooh. My family, of course,
always.
My health. And, ooh, that's so hard. That's so hard.
I know, right?
That's so hard.
You're put on the spot.
Really, just like where I'm at in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just really happy with my life at the moment.
That's a good one.
That's hard. Like,
that's hard to do.
Yeah. So I think just like my life in general.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. That was Squidward with Sid Sweets. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Be sure to place those orders. Get them in for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in, as usual. Thanks, Sydney, for coming on and sharing with San Angelo a little bit more about Sid Sweets, chocolate-covered strawberries of all varieties for all occasions.